Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for hosting us over here. Beautiful. Welcome for some new people joining us. So, a few things. First of all, most important part is to talk about the spiritual opportunity or the cosmic opportunity that's available for us. So we are in the midst, the last few minutes of the new moon of Leo, still today, or at least in New York. If you're in LA, you're still in the new moon. If you're West Side, you're still in the new moon of Leo, which is can still grab that energy. But and then we have we know that that Moses divided the Torah to 5 books. And the idea is a lot of people, you ask them why is the division of 5 books of Moses, and there's a different answers. You study this one, again, from a study and education point of view, but for us, it's from an energy point of view. It represents the 5 different dimensions of each one of us need to be elevated, right? So 5 different, what we call worlds, or 5 different levels of disappearance that exist in our life. And when you connect in through the Torah, through those books, right? Each one of them meant to awaken or allow you to connect to a different, what we call vacancy that in our life, meant to be revealed light. We are in what we call the last book of Moses, right? What we call book of Deuteronomy, Sefer Dvarim. And we know that they mentioned that the Sefer Dvarim, right? It's also as well what we call this week, the Shabbat, the weekend of the vision. You have a vision, in life, because a lot of people, you says, oh, these people are visionaries, and this is the person is a visionary, or what type of vision? Most of us have occasional visions, and this week we can connect to a vision for the entire, meaning the energy of vision. Being visionary is not about having a big business, or it might be a relationship, it might be a friendship that you visualize. You have the ability to visualize, to have the envision where it goes and what the world needs with this situation or that situation. So that is this weekend. This week we connect to the energy of vision. Now we know that this book of Dvarim, represent the world of Malchut, this physical reality. And physical reality, which we see, we have probably a couple of months right before Rosh Hashanah. Now we know Rosh Hashanah is the head of the year, but it falls on the 7th month in the year. If you start from Nisan, right? If you start from Aries, you get by the 11th month, you get to what we call Tishrei, which we know that the month of Tishrei, the month of when the holidays is going to be, it's the 7th, which represent in called the tree of life, the 7 below. There are 7 different level or compartment of energy within us that helping us to elevate spiritually. Now, each one of them, like in different culture and different religion, they call it chakras or energy point or Reiki point, or Chinese call it differently. So the idea is that the sfirot is not physical, but a spiritual component that each one of us have to use to elevate or to lower ourselves as well. So therefore, right now, when we're using this book of Dvarim, book of Deuteronomy, each one of these coming weeks help us elevating to what we call the level of Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is when everything, all the movie can shift, right? When you're building a real vessel to use for light, not for a vessel or a bucket that you have filled with garbage. You want a bucket, you want a vessel, you want ability to reveal light within your life, not just to be busy with garbage and nonsense all day long. Eventually, people get depressed. So therefore, we want to build from today, the next 7 weeks at least, build up our spiritual structure, as we spoke a few weeks ago. I hope you had a chance to speak to Adam, about building a spiritual structure as leading up to Rosh Hashanah, so you will set up yourself for success in this coming year. So this is the overview, and still we have in the new moon, so therefore we want to connect as well to the energy of the new moon and what it means, and using these weekly secrets to connect to a deeper aspect of who we are. So in this week's energy, and again, I'm gonna use it as well for what we call the new moon as well. You see that this book, entire book, is called Mishneh Torah. What does it mean? It's a secondary Torah. What does it mean? It means that Moses rewrite the entire story again in his own word almost, right? Now, again, it's not, and if you read it literally, for most of us, we're not going to pay attention that something is different, But as you study, as you know, you realize there's something unique that comes to our life from this week until Rosh Hashanah. Why? Because we all meant to rewrite our story. We all meant to be the people who not like, like everybody in our life telling us, I think you should be these things, or I think you should do that, or I think you should be a lawyer, or I think you should be an accountant. What kind of like a suggestion? But almost all of that is auto-suggestion, right? It's like people like automatically, like robotically telling us, oh, you should play piano, it's good for you. What do you know about me, right? All kind of stuff that people think. And we, like a parrot, oh yeah, I should do this, or a monkey. Monkey sees, monkey do. Moses teaching us there's two levels over here. And again, this is a little bit deeper, but I'll start a little bit deeper, then you can spend your time read about it. There are two levels of prophecy that we're talking about when we speak to Moshe. There is the word Zeh. Every time Moses was download or dropping prophecy, he was used the word Zeh Adavar. This is the thing, right? Which means there's no maybe. This is it. This is how it be. This is what it is all about. And there's another level, we call it the other prophets, right? All the prophets, the Jeremiah and many of the that you know of, use the word ko amar Hashem. It's like what somebody says. The word ko, it's almost like a saying. It's almost like sort of. It's not sort of, but this is what he said, as opposed to, it's not like Moses' prophecy. It's ko amar, which means it's the idea of things that are new things that coming up to this world, right? So it's almost like the two levels. Moses consciousness, and again, this is something that we all can, it's nothing to do with Moses, it's something to do with us. Moses rewrite the book of Dvarim to indicate that you have to write your story, not what you came with or what you think you saw until now. So you need to learn how to write it. So two things. One, Moses' prophecy is in a level of what? Zeh Davar. What does it mean, Zeh? The sun doesn't change. The moon structure, like we know that the moon, the high and the low tide, it's known for the next 100 years. No change, right? The weather, right? Spring come after winter and so forth, right? Very much world order. Moses revealed to us world order. Complete clarity about who we are, what we came to do, a complete spiritual system that cannot change. For example, I shared many times, and I shared different prayers over here, like such as Ana Bekoach. The prayer Ana Bekoach, highly recommended to study about it. The prayer doesn't change for years. For thousands of years, it's not going to change, right? Do you read the Zohar? The word, nothing changed. It's world order. This is exactly the same thing. What needs to change, again, this, first of all, the two levels, is not that they are not changing because they are stuck. The world order we're talking about here, it's like maybe example, right? Let's say your company have a product. You sell a product. That's the world order. That's the represent, like, this is what we do. This is our company. This is the product. Now, how you do it, how you sell it, how this person presented, how that person presented, what is job description, that's a different level. But the order of the company, the intention, and the product stay the same. We're selling toilet paper, whatever it is. How we doing it? What are we presenting now? Or we have a new way to present the toilet paper. I don't want to say toilet paper. I don't even see whatever. Maybe it's the most. I know why. I know why. You know, people freaking out with the threat, Iran, and bombs everywhere, wars everywhere. You know, so they said, you know, you have to go to stock up. You know, stuff. That's why it came to me. But which, by the way, these classes, I would like each one of us to pray for a world protection, because a war with Chas v'Shalom, God forbid, with Iran is a war of the entire world. It's not, no one is protected. It's a slippery slope. So we have to protect our world. You know, we know it doesn't matter which side. We both, all of us, gonna lose. It's not against one to the other. It's everybody's losing. Anyway, go back to that idea that, yeah, we're selling whatever product, right? It's an order. This is the structure. But now we have a new way to market. It's called social media, right? So you see somebody wrap himself with a toilet paper and try to rip it, and it's very strong toilet paper, whatever. Oh, new way to promote our toilet paper. What am I talking about it? But that is the idea. So the prophet that is not like Moshe, these are people who are coming up with new ideas. And again, this is who we are. We need to be those prophets. What do you mean those prophets? Those people who take a product, okay, a cup never changed. And then you think about it, have the vision of how can I promote it differently than it was before, right? And that is when you start receiving. This is the level of prophecy, right? So we have two things. One is like the sun. Now going back to this month, right? This month is Leo. Leo, we know, ruled by the energy of the sun. The star that is supporting Leo is what we call the sun. Now, we learn that the sun doesn't change. Let's say it was cloudy where you are today. You think the sun was upset? You think the sun was like, oh, what a waste. What a waste of time. I was shining the whole, I was there, giving light, but the clouds bothering me. No, it doesn't work like that. It shines no matter what, right? It's the level of prophecy, it's the world order. Take the moon. What is the moon? For us, the moon always change. Sometimes he's half, sometimes he's nowhere, sometimes he's full of himself, right? Sometimes he's a little bit, a sliver of that. Sometimes he's hidden by the sun, right? So the moon fluctuates, right? It's that idea of the level of prophecy, which is a lower one. So I want to remind you, in this month, we all want to become like the sun. We want to be like the sun that is shining light no matter what stays in the way. No matter how many people stays home and not coming to the class, we're still shining it. People don't go into the beach, but I'm shining over there. Doesn't matter. This is the energy of Leo, the energy of the sun. Most of Leo have a problem. They want to share, but if everybody listens to them, they want to share, But if it's about themselves, they want to listen as long as the person is giving them attention, right? That should not be our intention this month. Our intention this month is to become like the sun. Use that energy. And what is the energy of the sun? Love. Love and compassion, warmth, passion. Be passionate about what you're doing. Injecting love into what you're doing. But why? They don't care and they don't love me back. Who cares? I'm the sun. At least for 30 days. For 30 days, struggle to share light no matter what. So, as I said before, we're connecting through Moshe. In the book of Dvarim, the book of Deuteronomy, the idea is that there are two levels of us. One is to connect to the world order. There are spiritual structure in place. There are a system in place to whenever you decide to become spiritual and elevate individual, nothing can stop you. It's a structure that Moses revealed to us from the moment of creation until the end of this world, the way we know it. That system works. For example, take electricity. That's the way it works, right? There's a system in place, how it works, how it's manifest, it's scientific, right? So the same way there is a spiritual structure for all of us to elevate tremendously. And now, individually, each one of us need to tap into it in our own way. We want to manifest that in our own way. That's your level of prophecy. Find a way, take the lesson, readapt it to your life. Find how can I use it in my day to day, every single day. And then following week the same way. So now, what is really happening in this parsha, in this section? Moses gathering everybody. And what did he do? He started telling them all the stuff that they've done in the last 40 years. That's what he does. He's just telling them, remember we went there and I went to the mountain and then I came back and you were busy building like some golden thing over here, right? Remember that we were in the desert and there was no water and you start screaming and yelling at me, right? That's what he does, exactly like that. He goes place to place and just mention them. No, without saying to them, see, you did this and you did this to me and you did that to me and blaming them. No, he's just reminding them things. And again, there's many, many different beautiful lessons, but he just remind them all the places where they were impatient, where they were negative, where they were so bad, where they were so small, looking so small on themselves, right? He's just reminding them that. And as they're reminding them their places, each one of them awaken a greater and greater desire. I can't believe I was there. Because it's so easy for us right now. If we go back in time, when you were 15, 16, 20, and you've done and something horrible around that time happened to you, now you're looking back today, you're saying, looking back 20 years ago, it's the best thing that can happen to me, leaving that boyfriend left me, right? Best thing. And that back in that time, you thought devastated. Wow, terrible, right? I could not believe I would get stuck with someone that I thought I loved, right? But thank God I'm not with that person because look what I found later on, right? It's so easy in retrospect, so easy, but that's not what we want. What we want is definitely, as I said before, rewrite our story the way we want to see it with a vision. This is this week. And the same thing is, you have to look back into places where, wow, look at me yesterday, how I reacted, so insignificant, so impatient. So just to look at that, take responsibility, and you create a vessel for light as a continuation. So one of the things that Moses did, which actually was very smart, if you read it, he never went and told them that chronological. He told that in a way of a random, because imagine it's like, what is this story? You know when somebody come and start telling you something, it's like, what's the connection? Until they tell you, no, I meant about this. I refer to, right? You need a reference. Over here, it seems like, you don't really pay attention, and Moses come and give them the business. It's kind of like randomly speaking about the splitting of the Red Sea, and then randomly about the water, and randomly about this, and it seems like unrelated. So it kind of like they don't feel like threatened. It's like one by one, he's going to finish me about this, about that, right? Random. So in a way, so people won't feel it personal. So again, also to learn that compassion from Moses. For some time, when we want to tell somebody that we didn't like or appreciate how they did this or how they did that, and that's not okay what they do, and they should not do this, right? We go and tell them directly, and it's always putting up what we call the defense mechanism. But most of us not really paying attention that there is a defense mechanism, and we keep belittling the person. Well, but you said the other person behind the curtain screaming, right? So if we want to have a real conversation, if we want to have a real interaction with people and tell them something that wasn't right, you have to create an environment for that. You need to take the time to create an environment where the person will be able to listen to it, and sometimes even tell a story about somebody else, right? Sometimes when you hear a story about I hear about Moses, I learn something for me, right? So in a way, this is the lesson. The new moon, we also need to remember that if I know, again, another level that exists in this new moon, which is important to awaken, every month there is what we call the tetragrammaton, the light that is in charge over this month, flow through few different letters, which is hidden in a secret of one sentence. So every month have its own unique sentence that we're connecting through that. And of course, the combination, internal combination, is a specific way of the tetragrammaton that draw light to our life. In this situation, the sentence is Hasket ushma Israel hayom. Hasket ushma Israel hayom. Literally meaning, Hasket, be quiet. That's what I tell you. It's interesting for Leo, right? And Hasket ushma, and you're gonna listen, right? Excuse my French. Shut up and listen. You need to tell yourself. You don't need to tell people. You don't need to tell, nobody need to tell you this, but you need to tell yourself. What does it mean? Most of us want to talk, want to hear ourselves talk. Most of us, when we hear somebody talk and they don't talk really nice about us, so I don't want to hear it, right? That's one level. Second level is there are many different voices, one voice, but many different variations of a voice that we keep listening to it. We keep listening. Imagine how many radio stations out there? Millions. I don't know, maybe millions, I think. Radio station. And you can tune into any station you want. It's the same device. It's the same machine in one scale to the right or to the left. Here I'm in a classical, here I'm in a rock band, right? Here I'm in talking news, how bad everything is, and here I'm showing how great it is, right? One scale to the right, to the left. Most of us think that if we are listening to something, it's the right channel. If you hear that you're not good enough, is it the right channel or the wrong channel? Right? If you hear that you're never going to be successful, listening to that voice. Yeah, I know, they always told me, yeah, because you always listen to that radio station, and that's what it feeds you. These voices I'm talking about, is that this month, I would like you to be so aggressive, like the sun, that have no question about who is in the beach, who is not in the beach. It shines so hard, right? Meaning, I want to reveal light no matter what. Now, what type of voices you allowed in your system, right? This is Hasket Ushma. Shut up those voices. Tell those voices, no, I'm not listening to you anymore. The voices of judgments of others. Imagine when somebody's talk and you start judging them in your thoughts, right? These are the thoughts that you need to say, quiet down, because I'm listening to somebody, right? You need to be in two places when you meet somebody. When you meet somebody, don't you judge them based on the look? Don't you judge them based on what the first thing comes off their mouth? Please, asket hushma. Quiet down those internal voices and tell them, quiet down the judgment. Quiet down, I know. As somebody talk, right? Even if I'm talking, right? I know some people like, oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, yeah, I know what he's saying. Yeah, I already learned that. No, don't you have like once in a while when you share, when you hear in the classes and you hear like, oh yeah, I know that. Oh yeah, I lived like that long time ago. Oh yeah, I heard that lesson before. Yes, even if you heard it million, you know how many times I heard that, you know, but I never hear it. For me, it's the first time. It's a very important part. I need to shut down. Once you shut down that voice, then you listen. Then you listen, then you're going to hear another level, another twist, or another angle that you could not see before. Because those voices telling you, judge them, or it's too loud, or they don't know, or some ego, what about me? They're not listening to me, right? This is the voices in this month. Every single day, you tell them, shut up. Asket ushma uskut. Shh. Close the space, and then you're going to hear. And then you have the strength to be like the sun. Because most of us will share light when everybody accepting us, when everybody enjoying, I'm getting back feedback. Yeah, I'm going to continue. No. You want, you want to be able to do it regardless of what is there or not. Then I would love to awaken ourselves to talk and to listen from love, to talk and to listen from care, from interest. That's the sun energy. So one of the in the next step that I would like to share with you is the word ele hadvarim. Ele hadvarim literally mean these are the things. Now think about every day in your life, right? Am I looking at everything the same way again and again and again? Ask yourself, if I look at things, I look at people. You go out to work, you look at the way, you look at the subway, you look at the train, you look at your road, you look at the highway, the same thing, or it's something different? Or when you're going to a shopping mall, if there is something like that anymore, there is shopping, right? So, you go to a shopping mall, is it the store that I'm looking for? What am I looking for? We're in a crowd of people. These are the things I'm looking for in a crowd of people. These are the things I'm looking for in the market. These are the things when I'm going to browse the internet, or when you scroll up and down in social media. Ela advarim. What are the things that you're looking for? Ela advarim. These are the things that you're looking for. Ask yourself, is every day I see things the same way? Is every day I see people the same way? If I see the same people and I see them the same way, probably they will always gonna be the same way. Yeah, because I don't want them to change. I like to control them this way. You know, if I need to awaken the entire until Rosh Hashanah, almost 7-8 weeks, we want to be able to achieve a level that every day is I see something new about myself, about others, about how I can do things today. This is a real prophecy, right? Ask yourself, when you walk in the street or when you go into the internet or whatever it is, what makes you raise an eyebrow? Like, what? Or be surprised, like, well, can't believe it. Oh, wow. What is that thing that makes you wow? Ask yourself, what was it? What was it that made me feel like, wow? You know what I'm saying? It's not an awe for the moment of like inspiration. Or when you're looking at in the internet, why you stop on that? There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. So ask yourself, first of all, is it robotic that I always look for that? Oh, no, it's what the internet sends me all the time because search optimization, whatever. You can call it this way, right? You can change it. So what is igniting you? Why was it igniting you? When you're looking for people, right? Relationship, what's inspired? What's the thing that got you, right? You have to pay attention to these things because later on they're gonna come back and bite you if it's not the right thing. Later on, it's gonna come back and claim a toll from you. So remember those things. Oh, yeah, you jumped to be on a stage, or you jumped to volunteer because you thought it's gonna be nice for you. And then you realize, oh, wait a second, I was trapped, right? So remember that. We all sometime jumping and we don't even pay attention. What was that? Oh, it was my agenda. I didn't pay attention. Now I can't, it's far away from that, and my agenda now comes out. It's important to understand that majority of our life, we are sleeping. We are asleep. Why we need that, like, wow, right? Why we need this, like, something to divert my consciousness, to like take me off course, right? Because we never came here to be robotic. We never came in that. So you never see like a robot all of a sudden, wow, look at the sky, look at the stars, amazing, right? Robot never get inspired. It's robotic. It does one task, two tasks, whatever you tell him to do, it does. There's no like, wow, that's a surprise. I didn't know, it's amazing. That doesn't happen. Human being never meant to be robotic, never meant to be in dogmatic type of thing, or in a way of a systematic. Yes, we need to have that, but it has to be unique, has to be special to you, has to be what we call custom made for you. And if you are not, you're just going to be one of the cattle, one of the people in the cattle, same thing like everybody else, unless you stand out. You stand out, meaning you understand, you use this wisdom, you use what you're learning, and you stand out, not to be special, better than others, is to really be a person that can ignite that light in others. Like when you go to sometime like I don't know, a retreat or a class, or even a yoga class, right? Right? Anybody goes to yoga classes? I haven't been for many years, right? I have to admit. But sometime I used to go to class. They tell me, oh, you have to come to yoga class in this, here, or in Times Square, not Times Square, whatever call, they're doing amazing. This teacher is amazing, right? Some people connect to that teacher, some people not connected to this style, right? Someone who put you on the back and you're sleeping, right? Oh, I want to move, right? Yeah, only in the end and the beginning. Some teachers like too much, some people like too little, right? So what inspired? Why that inspire you? Why didn't? So is something bad about that teacher? Something wrong about that instructor of yoga? No, that's the way they are. And that is exactly what they came to do. The fact that you are sleeping and you cannot really get excited about that individual or the actual opportunity, it's up to you. It's not up to the person to inspire you, right? If they are, great. So another thing that's important to understand, what is this idea that I need ele advarim? I need, this is the thing. This is the thing I was looking for. Why do we need that? It's why do we fall to reality like that? It's because we are a creature of habits as well. And if you have the wrong habits, you're going to have the universe will send you something to really shake you up, much difficult. For example, if you're in the habits of abusing drugs or alcohol, or like really being alcohol addicted, right? So it's a habit. It's a habit that started and became addictive, and now you cannot get rid of it. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Then for that, in order to remove that type of become addiction, now you need what? A stronger push, a stronger tool, right? A stronger kick in the butt. Does that make sense to you? So now, in the beginning, it was like much easier to stop it. So we need to make sure that everything that you do in your life right now, you need to revisit in the next few weeks, 8 weeks at least. We still start visit and build up to create new habits. Habits that you know that everything is inspired. Imagine a habit that everything is inspired for you. Can you imagine a habit like that? Like, no, Benjamin, it's not normal. Why? Who said that being sleepy and being depressed and if it's not shiny, I'm not inspired. If it's not a person with a certain criteria or celebrity of sorts, I'm not inspired. Right? What do I mean to be excited about these regular people? Right? So imagine, go back to, because I have over here a few yoga teaching instructors over here. Over here also, I have a friend, he's also instructor. Imagine if you have a celebrity, very big celebrity in your class, right? Are you going to change the class? Are you going to do different routines? Are you going to be a little bit kinder? Are you going to be a little bit more nicer? Yeah, don't answer. Don't answer. Don't answer. Why? Maybe you haven't been there before in that level of celebrities goes to, oh, wow, this is a different class. Oh, it's not the usual old lady that comes to my class. Oh, right? Oh, it's like the young, the chic, the this, the that, inspiring, and guys and young guys and girls. Wow, such an energy. Oh, this old age home that I'm doing that is not inspiring for me. Now, I'm not saying it's you guys, okay? Please, or you over here, or anyone who listens to it. But we get inspired by what? Oh, the next big things. Oh, then no, that's why we always need those things as opposed to live life like that. That's what Moses is telling us. El Advarim, you have to live like every day. It's like, this is it. This is it. This is the day. When you woke up today, is it the day? This is it. What day is today? Oh, no, today I don't have anything special. Look, is today's the day? You're going to open your calendar like, oh, what do I have today? Today is not the day. That's how people think. It has to change. Well, what's so special today? No, nothing. We can get up tomorrow morning and decide this is the day. Excuse me, day for what? Well, what do I, right? That's what's going to be the second thing. For what purpose? Am I getting married? What am I opening a new business? Yeah, that's the day. If I open a business, that's the day. If I move an apartment, that's the day. If I find my boyfriend and we go on vacation first time, that's the day. No. When you break up with your boyfriend, that's the day. When you drop out of job, right? When the job stops, this is the day. Not when everything is happening, when nothing is happening. Or even worse, thing that's happening. can you decide, אלה הדברים. This is the thing that Moses is so excited to share with them. You are about to go to the land of Israel. You know what you're going to have there? Each one of you can be tremendously important to this world. And what do? You think small about yourself. What do? You get habitual behavior that is not insignificant to a human being. It's not who we are, the way we behave. Or the voices in your head that judging and cursing people in your head and blaming them and all day long and pretending everything is nice, and never see them again, right? So I would like to go back again. אלה הדברים, these are the things. It's important to understand that this month we need, it's a necessity to become like the sun. That's why this month you can be like the sun. And then, because what do we learn in Kabbalah? Like attracts like. When you become like something, you are as one with that. So the energy of this month is ruled by the sun. Everything surrounded the sun. Not like the moon fluctuates up and down. Sometimes I'm full of myself, right? The moon. Sometimes I'm nobody. Sometimes I'm vacant. Sometimes I'm not sure where I am, right? That's the moon. Always fluctuate. No. This is the sun. And the way to do it is to, first of all, as I said before, I'm going to go back to the beginning, remind you, check, first of all, what gets you like, wow, or in a crowd of people, why you hooked to that, or when you go to a place, what inspired you about that place, or what was so special about that got you attention, or raise an eyebrow, or whatever. If you really pay attention to that, you will see that your agenda, your ego, drawn that. And you want to be able to stop that and create a new habits. And the habits like the sun, that no matter who is there, cloud or rain or whatever it is, the moon stands in the way as an eclipse, or whatever stands in my way, I do not stop shining warmth, love, care, and kindness, and inspiration. I'm getting inspired by everything. Oh, it's so hard for me. It's, first of all, you have to stop what you're doing in your robotic system. Stop being inspired by the wrong things. Stop having the high from the wrong thing. Because you have to really, really pay attention what it is that got me like raise my eyebrow, get excited, or get inspired. And you have to understand what was that type of an ego. You have to pause on that. From this month, for 1 month, you pause on that, and you start igniting a new you. Get inspired about your eyes, about your bald. You see, I'm bald over here. I'm inspired about it. I love it. Love it. So good. So good. A lot of, I love it. Look at this guy. Amazing. Look at this, so beautiful, shining like the sun. You see, like us, in the sun, you see me shine, right? And people, I want to cover a head, putting wigs, putting this, whatever, putting things in your head. What's wrong about it? I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying it's wrong to do that. I'm just saying, why? Why can't I get inspired of the thing that doesn't really always look good or amongst others? You understand? So I would love if you can start love yourself differently, and then love people differently, connect to them differently. See, they're wearing a shirt. Oh, I love your shirt, right? Same t-shirt, right? You need to, yeah, but it's fake, Benjamin. First of all, if you stop being robotic of looking for, אלה הדברים, these are the things I'm looking for. What? Or if I tell you guys, you want to come to a single event, right? Those of us who are married, right, will say, I'll pass, right? And if they tell you, oh, this event is 2030s, right? 20 to 30s, 20s and 30s. It's like, I'm 40. Wow, I cannot come. Right? Right? Everybody's upset. No, I have it all the time. All the time. Benjamin, 20. Why are you doing events for 20s, 30s, right? Yeah, I guess I can, but I shouldn't, right? No, but the idea is everything will make you like get upset because it's not in the category that you're looking for. But I want to be part, but I'm not there. It doesn't matter, right? This is what you got equipped and got used to, be connected to, attracted to, So, but if I tell you guys, I'm doing, hey, I don't have a singles event. Yeah, I want to be part. But if I tell you that you want to do you want to do like you're doing sewing, knitting. Anybody want to come together and knit? Right? You say, it's like when they ask me, hey, you want to come to an art class? I'm like, no, I'm not an artist. I have no clue. But I saw, you know what? When I overcome that, I did this work years ago, and I says, you know what? Yes, I want to get inspired about art. And I actually did well for where I am in my art level, right? So I got inspired about it, and I learned that I can have that. It's not something I will do, but it's something that in general I would right away cut off right away. So you learn what a new part of me was awakened when I did it, right? Even holding a brush and doing it was like so awkward for me, right? Let me hold tools and a hammer and whatever, and I can do that. I can build stuff. So again, I'm giving you this in many different ways, but the overview is the month of Leo. It's the sun. It's in its possessed to so much light, so much energy to give to this world. What I recommend, and there is a recommendation in the coming 9 days, until the 9th days of Av, of the month of Leo, highly recommended to lower the need for attention, lower the need for doing something big in the next 9 days. Listen, if your business is selling and buying houses, do it. But if you need to buy a house, I would wait 9 days, okay? Or selling a house. If you're not part of your business. If you want to open a new business, I will wait 9 days. If you want to get married, I would wait 9 days. It's not that the right, and it's not that it's wrong energy. It's too much. It's like, I just share an example. Have you ever tried to open the fire hose right in the street, the fire hydrant, and it's pouring water? Try to drink from that. Impossible. Impossible. You're gonna be pushed away. This time is like almost drinking trying to drink directly from a fire hydrant. Please be aware. Reduce in the next 9 days. Obviously, some of us recommend not to even connect to meat and wine because it draws the energy. But you have to be much more in what we call the right column energy, much more in sharing, much more love, much more kindness, much more calmness, at least for 9 days, because it's known to be very much historically very negative days. They are not. They are very powerful in what they're channeling, but we don't have the capacity to handle it. So please, if you can listen again to the suggestions in this week, share it with others, be the light for others, and we'll see you next week.